Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and I think it's time to get this project finally finished. So while you've been gone, I did make a little dangle for it. I've just had this string round it, but I think I'm going to replace that with some nice Hessian cord. And I have done all of the ephemera and all of the pages now, and I've got this paper note, coffee dyed paper for notes in the middle, but we do still need to sew it together. Now I'm sure you've seen this done a million times, but we're just going to look at getting this sewn together and then we'll do a little flip through, and then when I come back next week we'll look at right, so there's one through there, and then we'll have one through there. We'll look at a brand new project that will then take us into 2025. Goodness me. Okay, so there's my 3 holes. I've used an awl. If you haven't got an awl, you can use any sharp point. You could actually just go through one layer at a time with your needle. I'm going to use some of this lovely pearl cotton that I use for my embroidery, mainly because I think it's a good colour to go with the cover. So I'm just going to thread the needle. Where's my lovely new threader? Thread my needle. Whoops, see, I can't even get the threader in, let alone the thread. So how are you? I bet you're all up to your eyes in Christmas planning right now, aren't you? Okay, so we go through the centre there. I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't, through the centre, I'm holding the end with my thumb. We're then going to go, see, now this is what always happens because I can never find the other hole. So we have to put out, well, I have to, you probably won't, put my awl back in so that I can see where the hole is. And then I can just push that through because I've reopened that hole. And then my needle's back through. We go down to that hole at the bottom and back out, still holding on to the spare thread. Whoops. I'm just pulling that tight, and then I can take my paper clip off, pull that nice and tight, and then I can put my needle back through that centre hole. She says, never that easy, is it? In moving the paper clip, I seem to have moved my papers. There we go. So my needle's going back through there. Oh goodness me, it is going back through there, I promise you, it really is. So let's take the paper clip off the other side. It's amazing how this is something you normally do without thinking about it, and then because you're on film it becomes a bit of an issue. Right, just want to, right, so I've lined that all back up. That should now go back through there, no problem. There you go, see, Just have to get yourself a bit organised. Take the needle off. Make sure you've got a thread either side of your centre point. Now if you've gone through your thread, as you can see I have there, just take the end of your needle, put it between the two threads and separate it. Oh, I should have just done this off camera and been set with it, shouldn't I? There you go. So now I've separated them again. Can pull that one underneath so that we've got one either side, and then just pull it nice and tight. Okay. I don't know quite what's occurred here. There you go. Right. So, pull your thread back through. Okay. Give it a nice tug. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then just knot it. I always knot mine at least twice and put it nice and tight. There you go. And then just snip them, pull that away, and our book is now a book. It's lovely. It will stand up if you want to put it on a bookshelf. So as I say, I did a dangle there. We got a little owl and a leaf and lots of beads, and that's just on a little bulldog, so that could clip on and off to suit yourself. And then as we come in, obviously that's the bulldog, so you could put something under there. On this page here, where we did the 2 pockets, I've just put in different pieces of ephemera that can be, you know, used for writing on. This one is just a faux fabric sample that comes from Which Craft Do You Do? And then as we go over, this was that vintage music paper, and we've got, you know, a card there, and that was a piece of that stamp postcard there. On this page we put the fabric and we layered up, or I layered up, so it's difficult to remember now what we did on film. And then we've just got a raggedy journal card going in an uptuck there. And as we come over here, this, am I even on film? Yeah. This one here is a opening belly band. So we can open this little piece of string, and then it goes that way, and we see him. It goes that way, and there's a little pocket with a tag in. And then that just goes back on there. That goes like that, that goes like that. Just tie him back up. Little bow. And it is a belly band because behind we have this raggedy journal card. And then on this side, I haven't actually ironed off the black lines because that's a heat pen, but we've got this lovely treble butterfly heart with a rusty pin in. We've got laces and this number, and then we got the pocket there with, again, just interesting journal card, and this one is a coin pocket. So they go in there. And then as we open this one, I've used a tag as a pocket. That's Lorna Tailor-Made Journals. And then there's just a decorated tag. There's just a picture of an old typewriter. And a piece of Tim Holtz graph type paper. Then we come to the notebook, which is basically plain paper, but there's just a few interesting pieces inside. There's a centre, and again just a few interesting vintage pages, as well as all that coffee dyed. Then this page is an envelope, but I've only sealed part of it. So in the back of the main envelope there, we've got the lovely lady from the front. We've got a little pocket on the back, Sally in our alley, and a little note space there. So that goes in that pocket there. And then in the front flap, I've got this journal card. You could also put something in the back flap there if you wanted to, but I've just put that one in there. Okay, and then when we come over, we've got stamped card to make a pocket, graph paper at the back, again another little coin pocket, and another piece of that stamp postcard. Then on this page we had the double side, and I've got another vintage typewriter on the front, and no, sorry, on the back, because that's stitched, and a tag on the front. And then as we come over, we've got this lovely fabric pocket here, and this is a triple tag. So you've got decoration on the front and decoration on the back, and then you can use these two for journaling, or those two. And she just tucks in there. On this one, I've used napkin, fabrics and book page, and again this is an up tuck, and we've got another little fold out here. Okay, so goes like that, and over there, and then lots of journaling space, and then she just goes up there under the lace and the music in there. And then as we come over this side, we've got a little envelope there with a stamped piece in. We're using this mini tag as a closure for our envelope, and that just goes up and under there as a closure. And then we've got all these fabrics and pieces of opulence on the bottom, another stamped journal card there, another decorative tag there, and then our back cover. So there is our finished coffee break crafting project. We did the lovely book, and I'm just now going to use some of this Hessian to use as a closure. So I'm just literally going to wrap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then give myself a nice length to tie, and then I'm just going to tie up a bow. Obviously we get that off her eyes. Nice bow, give it a little press down. She says, nice bow, let's try that again. That's it, like that. And then I'm just going to move it across there. You can see her eyes, her nose and her mouth. And I'm just going to flip my beads back over. And there is our coffee break crafting project. If you wanted to make the bow smaller, obviously you can pull these strings, make it a little bit smaller, trim off the excess. If you wanted to dangle something on our centre strings, you could do that as well. But there you go. There is our coffee break crafting project. I hope you've had joy and fun with this. I'm sorry there was a big gap in the middle. Life took over. But next week when I come back, then there'll be, as I say, a new project going forward. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.